Hey guys, welcome back to Andertons. I'm Ben and I'm joined by
Digital John.
Digital John.
Gentleman Ben.
And we are looking at some very exciting new guitars from Jackson today.
Indeed.
These are the Pro Series Misha Mansoor Juggernaut guitars. I've been a huge Periphery fan for years, so they were doing the full US line ones, I'll say 2014, 2015 onwards.
Been around a while, yeah.
Around the 2017, 2018, Jackson announced the new Pro Series Misha Mansoor models to make them more affordable and not $3 or $4 grand.
Yeah.
So they've had a couple of different revisions over the years, different specs in terms of materials and colours, but here in 2025 we've got these stunning blue finishes. I've got the blue sparkle in front of me right now.
I've got the Riviera blue. It's very reminiscent of like a BMW M3, I think.
Yeah.
I think Misha's a big car guy and it's a very BMW colour. It's really, really nice. Obviously, we've got a few different appointments on each of these guitars, but they share a lot of common factors. Poplar body. I initially thought it's quite a heavy guitar when I picked it up. Like it doesn't look like it will be, but it is a heavy. It's on the heavier end. It's not a heavy Les Paul.
I suppose because you've got the EverTune and you also
that might be it. Yeah, I mean poplar body, which I think is actually kind of a lighter wood, but the neck is roasted maple with graphite reinforcement. So nice, solid, stable neck. It feels like quite a wide neck, more like a D shape maybe for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, really agreeable. And yeah, obviously the EverTune bridge, which is a big thing in this guitar. These aren't for everyone. When you pick it up, it's kind of weird not being able to do a bend.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like there's a bit of pitch variation. So once you get used to that, like it's really cool actually. Like you can play all these variations of voicings. Like major thirds aren't as what's the word? There's not as much beating on them and stuff like that. And you know, people who have this guitar, they're going to use a lot of gain. So having those thirds, especially in chords, not be too annoying is really cool. And for recording, obviously.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out you can have certain strings locked and unlocked on the EverTune as well. So like you could have your bottom 3 strings locked for riffs and stuff like that. I know they use the EverTune on, I think it's Reptile, because that's in like drop G or something. So
and in that intro in the bad thing we were in drop A.
Yeah, so we've got these both tuned currently to drop C, but then for the A stuff you just drop the C down to an A.
But they're really tight guitars. Like the pickups, the Jackson MM1 is the model in these. Obviously you've got the nice white ones. I think they look really good. They're kind of, they feel on the higher output end of things. They're not quite like an Invader on the, you know.
They're based off the Juggernauts because the Ragnaroks weren't out at the time when they did the Pro Series, and I've had a few sets of Juggernauts and they're not too dissimilar, to be honest with you. Obviously in terms of keeping the cost down when you're doing a slightly more affordable model, whacking a £400 set of bare knuckles in it is going to keep costings down. But I think Jackson have done a great job on this, and you'll hear it when John and I run through some tones in a minute.
You know, you get some really pro features like you got rolled edges, you got locking tuners, and just a solid, good guitar. Like 24 frets, everything you need to do modern metal really. 5-way pickup selector for those guys who like the kind of spindly cleans on the 2 and 4 sounds. These do this really well. You're probably going to have a great sound on that JVM with the effects. But ebony board, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, ebony board.
Specs will prove me wrong if I'm wrong. But all the details will be in the description. Let's hear some sounds.
It is worth pointing out as well that although John's is slightly more expensive, the regular hardtail version, I think they retail for just under £1,000 because obviously it hasn't got the EverTune on it. Like I say, links are going to be below. I think what we'll do first, I'm just going to take you through some of the clean sounds here. So I'm on the clean channel on the JVM. I've got a Walrus Audio Slow in the effects loop as well. So the neck pickup is really, really warm, which is, again, having had the set of Juggernauts before, that is a combination that I was like pretty familiar with. So you do get a really warm sound. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's either the neck or the bridge, or they're both a combination of Alnica and ceramic magnets. So you do actually get a bit more, the idea being you get that warmth, but the bite as well on the attack. But position 4, when you start getting into like the different outer coils, that's when these pickups really come in. Especially, again, going to number 2.
That's such a Misha periphery sound
It
in
is.
my head. Yeah.
Like that's in my head. That's just like iconic. Of, like,
even the verb, like
yeah. I think if you get like a really nice expansive reverb, a chimey, clean sound as well.
Yeah, like a compressor maybe as well. But yeah,
yeah, exactly, just to bring it out. But I think where a lot of people want to hear this is on the gain. So I think I'll do a little bit of riffing, and then we'll hear
yeah.
the EverTune doing some stuff as well.
Very nice. Yeah, sounds really good.
It's pretty chunky. I mean, the EverTune would handle that sort of the lower reptile stuff a lot better, but it still sounds great. I think that's what's great about, for the fact that these are stock Jackson pickups, they do have that nice clarity to them. Let's hear some EverTune.
Yeah, so one thing I noticed, I haven't really had much experience with EverTunes, but when I picked this up and played it acoustically, it kind of feels like all the strings feel like fretted notes, and in the same way as like an open string feels and sounds different to, I say feels, it like sounds different, has a different timbre and rings differently to a fretted note. Kind of feels like everything's fretted, and once you get over that kind of different kind of sustain, it's fine, but like the cleans, you know, you wouldn't be able to hear it really. Everything still rings out fine, but it almost makes it softer, which I kind of like, especially for cleans. And of course, sorry, everything just intonates really, really nice. You can get kind of crunchier, up the top neck voicings where you might bend and make things out of tune, but... And it's just all
literally perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the chord to sound horrible, and it just doesn't.
It's really quite weird, but I get why Misha was like, can I have an EverTune version as well?
Yeah.
Because he's such a recording artist.
I think they've all got various one-off versions. I think Mark's got like an SE. I don't think you can buy it with the EverTune on, but they're all using them at some stage. But one of the things that caught me with these guitars as well, which I'm a guy who plays a lot of Gibson, so I'm not used to, is the fretboard radius is unbelievably flat. I think it comes in as like a 20-degree radius.
I think that's what makes me think it's a D, because it just feels so wide.
And I'm just not used to, like, ironically, I've been sat here trying to play the Marigold riff, and excuse me, I can't play it for you know, on these guitars. Yeah, hand me a Les Paul or like a vintage telly, I'll be fine.
It feels like a
I'm
baseball bat.
not used to it. It makes sense, like, and again, doing those higher chord voicings there. Like, if you took this out on a function and played Mr. Brightside, any guitarist know that song is horrendous.
And
to play.
these are definitely like flatter neck thumb behind the neck guitars. You know, they're a bit higher up for those players. I'm a thumb over the neck guy. It feels a bit weird, but I'm still enjoying it. So, right, metal and aggressive sounds. So, drop it. Which, incidentally, with an EverTune, you need to like make it forget or like force it out of that tension just by tuning it a bit aggressively. Oh, I've forgotten all the riffs now. It's been like 10 years. Let's drop it. So going down to the A tuning. If you tune it right. Real ones know that riff. Zygle Rocks, P1. But what I love about these guitars, they often do like the 2 position, or otherwise known as position 2. And let's just turn down. Turn down
professionals.
the drive a bit, and get that kind of spankier stringy. It doesn't sound like enough, but it kind of sounds like a suspension bridge cable.
Yeah.
No, definitely more. What's that? I think it's Letter Experiment. It's just, I love that sound. I don't think, you can split it.
Correction.
What is it?
That is not a split. That, when you have it pulled up, that activates the tone knob.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's a weird, like, but I think it's because he wanted more like bite and like clarity high end through it. So he never, Misha, I think in an old interview said he never uses the tone.
Right.
So unless the only time it's active is then like, see, it's not active, and then. So,
Right.
a common misconception there.
All right. Well, I thought it didn't sound much
I
different.
know my law.
And incidentally, I have got this Origin Effects DCX boost going in the front just to tighten it up. Without it, it feels a bit tighter in the low end. You know, common thing that Misha does all the time.
Yeah.
So I think what else? Talk about it. Frets are pretty big.
Yeah.
They're not obtrusive. They're not Guthrie Govan big, but they're definitely there. And yeah, I don't know. I think they're stainless steel as well, so they'll last forever.
I play it and it sounds like we were saying with the clean. It sounds like Misha.
Yeah, it does.
You know, which is what you want when you're buying a signature guitar. Get yourself a nice, tight amp for the gain, chimey clean with a nice expansive reverb, and you're going to get there, to be fair.
All right.
You know, check these out. We've got the links below for the different colours available on the website. I think there's a red one available as well. Be sure to like and subscribe because we are, as things stand, shooting the time in this video, we are close to 1 million subscribers. So once we do it, one of those clones will be yours or mine and John's. But until that day,
see you in the next video.